So when did you leave Nini Perfect Wedding?
My goodness.
2018.
I resigned in February.
2019.
Yeah,
2019.
I resigned in 2019.
Because I think we met probably, was it April 29th? No, it wasn't April. Huko September, August.
Yeah.
Huko.
Yeah.
By that time, by that time when we were meeting, walikuwa.
Did we go to Kokito with you?
Yes, Kokito, this restaurant up, I think Nation Center.
Kimathi Street, yeah. And you were late. He was late.
Did you have to?
He was late.
Did you have to?
I waited.
No, by that time, tulikuwa na some sports show hapa KTN. So, I think we started late. And now traffic nini by the time I'm there,
yeah.
So, that time, I think tulikuwa umetoka, you had some pressure, nini, now what next, nini. I even remember each and every time we were talking, nilikuwa nakwambia, Georgina, I'm praying for you, but then I do. Up to now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I pray for you and everything will make sense someday. And I remember you took a break from mainstream, TV, online, and all that. Paka sometime I think you went off social media at some point.
Also
yes.
for like 9 months.
That period, you took a break. What did you learn? And what did you learn to do differently now when you came back?
One thing is I need to be my self-talk. I was so harsh on myself. Oh my God. Like the world is already harsh and then here you are being worse on yourself. I just learned to be kinder to myself. I think I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest critic, and it has been good and bad. I think I'm able to do this and this and this. I just did not give myself enough grace. You understand? Because even after I left the show and there's so many things I wanted to do, I shot like 3 pilots of different shows, and they did not go too well. I felt like I didn't partner with the right people. They didn't quite grasp my concept. The delivery was completely off. Here I am now beating myself down again. Oh, you've wasted so much time and money. Also that feeling of you were doing so well, so I'm sure there are people that are going to pick you up for shows. That does not happen. So you start beating yourself up. I wasn't that good. What am I like? You know, oh my God.
Kwani watu wanijui?
It was a mess. I was in depression, honestly. You know the kind of depression where you're not getting out of bed the entire day. You haven't even brushed your teeth. You haven't brushed your teeth. Like you can see your bedroom is gathering dust, but you don't even have the strength to even sweep it. It was that kind of depression. Until I just found, again, this is why I really love God. I found my worth in Christ. You know, without the titles, Georgina and Nani, do you know I'm still so loved by Christ just the way I am? You know, with TV, without TV, I'm still adored so much by my children. My husband thinks I'm the ish. You understand? So without all of that, I had to find myself first, without the titles. And I feel a lot of people have placed their value on their productivity, placed their value on their work, on their job titles. But when that is completely stripped from you, who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Without the titles and all that.
Without the title, who are you? I am the still bubbly, optimistic, courageous, bold, beautiful woman that God made me to be. Yes.
That's so powerful, eh?
Yeah.
So, you are so passionate about being on TV.
I was not passionate about being on TV. I found myself on TV.
Okay.
I was passionate about being on radio.
For real?
Yes.
Imagine all this time mimi nimekuwa nikidhani you passionate being on TV kuliko nini on radio. For real?
My first love was radio.
The same case to me, by the way. I'm so comfortable on radio.
Yeah.
And like there's just something about me being on radio. There's just some freedom when you're on radio. Just be you.
Yeah.
You understand? Huh?
Yeah.
So, kumbe, I've been thinking about the wrong thing, Basi.
Not really. It's like I said. That's why I'm telling you. You think you're in control of your life, but you're not. You're actually not.
True.
So I always wanted to be a radio presenter. I even went to several auditions. I've even gone for Capital. Because I remember the one time I was actually this close to getting into Capital.
For real?
Yes. Kumbe email ilitumwa kitambo. Georgina kwa wapi?
Watu hujaangalia.
Georgina kwa hospitali akipata nani? Second born.
Hajaangalia email.
Hajaangalia email. Oh my God. Yeah, but it's fine. I don't mind because I feel like again God knows. Yeye ndio amekuumba. Anajua your little quirks. Anajua your little nini hapa ndio uta thrive.
True.
Yeah.
But then you talked of wewe kuingia kwa mambo ya acting nini, fashion and all that. Have you gone now into it full force?
I'm actually really trying. Currently, I'm on a series. I have a small role in the series called Q on Star Time.
But then you told me about that.
Yeah. I'm finding it really interesting. I love, for me, as in life is all about, it's a learning process. Like I just want to gather everything. Like even PR and communications, like a friend of mine owns a company. I just go there. If you need me for a project, let me come, let me learn, let me deliver. So also acting has been that thing for me. I just want to be on set. I want to see how things work. I want to see if I can actually deliver a role and do it well. Yes.
Nice. Usijali, director wangu hapo ananipa instructions kidogo. Yeah, but it's cool. Big Ted, ningependa tumzungumzie. Yes, I know you touched a little bit kumuhusu. Ulisema kwamba nilikuwa nasikia kuna story ulipeana ukisema kwamba the time you work at the main event company for 2 months and then you were laid off. Ilikuwa ni the sister to Big Ted.
Yeah, that fired me.
Yeah. What happened?
That was so devastating because I remember I did get in touch with him later and we had coffee in his office and I asked him, what was that? How can you poach me from a shop?
Then you
and then
lay me off for 2 months.
Me off, not even personally, through your sister. And then, like I said, you need to really accord people grace because at that time he was going through the most at that time. Because he does not even remember that happening. Because not caught him, like he was speaking on something on Instagram, but for me it was so off. He was like, apana, apa umedanganyana? No, I don't know you like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because my experience with you, vis-a-vis what you're saying, totally two different things. And that's how I DM'd him. And he was like, I don't know, we need to sit down. So at that time he told me, he didn't give me a proper JD. Because to be honest, I can't tell you for real what I was doing
exactly
there. Because the biggest project I did was the under 13 Telcom football team, football tournament. Like I was able to organize that and it went very well. So now for me to get fired after that, it was a shocker.
After your big achievement, first event.
Maze. And my employers, mpaka wa leo, as in, I always have good rapport. So for me to get fired was so devastating. And then at that age, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Yeah, it did quite a number on my self-confidence. But you gotta pull yourself up. Yeah, I have nothing against Big Ted. We always meet in concerts. He's an amazing guy.
You've talked of having a good rapport with your employers and all that. Do you believe, unajua kuna there's kinds of people kama wameworking on a certain organization, wakishatoka wewe kwenda bwana hata huko nisaidia the band bridges, you understand? What kind of a person are you? Ni yule ambaye ukishatoka ndo hivyo tumemalizana, ama ni yule mtu ambaye unaangalia the future because you might find yourself in the same place, maybe at a higher position and all that? How does Georgina MBIRA work?
I try my best never to burn bridges. But sometimes I feel like in my last job, it was a very emotional exit. It was a very emotional. For me, it was a very emotional exit. I remember even emailing my former boss, Eugene, just trying to explain. I don't know what space I was in when I was living our perfect wedding. And then I was feeling some form of betrayal also from a producer and things that were said at that time that were somewhat inaccurate, you understand? And then I didn't feel like I was given a chance to explain my side of the story, you know? So I left OPW with people not getting to hear my side of the story. And then I'm always like, I don't even have that energy to sanitize my name. Let's keep it moving. But maybe I could have left better, but it was a very emotional exit. Yeah, so I'm not very sure. He had sent me an email and said, you know, he would hope we work together, but I'm not very sure if it was genuine.
But could you go back? You had a chance?
If
you had that chance going back?
I think that's a mountain that I've already conquered. Yeah, onwards and upwards.
Nice. This one also, it's a very sensitive thing. I don't know if you would be comfortable talking about it. You mentioned it, I think, when was it? 2 or 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
That time you, I think, was it posting at the Trend, NTV. You talked of an experience where, should I mention her name?
That's the thing about you journalists. If you listen to, so I was actually talking about my experience, like when you meet people and you get a different reception from what you had hoped to get. I didn't mention any names, but everybody just put 2 and 2 together and decided it's that person. Congratulations, well done, yay.
But was it not?
And I remember, yes, it was.
Okay.
And it even got to BNN. I even got to BNN. Yeah.
So
I got to
you
BNN.
were served as tea.
Yeah, I was served as tea on BNN. There's some YouTube channels that had the worst headlines. I'm like, what is going on? You know, but I understand you guys have to make content. Yes, I had a bad experience with somebody that I'd looked up to. But again, it's expectations versus reality. That's why I feel like you should really lower your expectations when you meet people that you look up to. You understand? Lower your expectations. It's the way people keep saying never meet your crush. You know? But they never meet your crush. Yeah. So lower your expectations. I guess mine were just crushed. Yeah. And I was not giving my experience to ruin her name in any way. You know, I didn't even get to mention her name. I was just talking out of experience. You see the way, like I share a lot on my Insta stories.
Sure.
You know, I think my friends keep telling me sometimes I forget I'm in the limelight. You know, because I don't share things out of malice. I don't share things out of clout. Even when it was picked up by BNN, I was like, oh yeah, I have to keep reminding myself. Maybe I'm not just that ordinary person. You understand? Because it was not out of malice. It was not out of malice in any way. I was actually just giving my experience. Yes, but then there are people out there. You see? Yeah.
Because you are after that experience, there are people who looked up to her. They were like, oh, if this is what she does, then
I mean, it would be unfortunate for you to now take my word for it, you know, because again, if you just can't go picking enemies because somebody has decided. Have that experience for yourself.
April, I think from February to April. I remember I was interning at Radio Africa every morning. Nikienda msichana hapa juu kwa billboard kama namjua. Then I'm like, labda someone tu anafanana. Tena nikirudi jioni with my friends, I'm like, bro. See, but then mpaka I used to get on my phone na wanyesha. Uko sure si huyu?
Right.
I'm like, Yeah. So this one day I remember I just texted him, are you the one? He said, yes. And I was like, man, I'm so proud. That billboard yako ya sabuni ya, is it Menengai? Man, you know, it's not easy kufika kwa billboard. Ile siku mimi nitajiona tu niko hapo. It's such a big deal, huh? I want to know.
That's cool.
How the experience and how did you feel after putting in the hard work through the years? Then finally this achievement, because I know literally every person in the art space and the celebs and all that wanataka one day pia kujiona advertising some brand and all that. How did that make you feel? Are you proud of the hard work that you...
It's so crazy because it's so interesting how, you know, from the outside looking in, you would imagine you're seeing the glam and everything. And for me, I just went I actually didn't go on an audition. I was just called in. Oh yeah, I was just called in. to just get those pictures done and everything. And then 2 months later, I'm just seeing billboards everywhere, like the entire country. Like I'm getting phone calls here, people sending pictures. It was kind of cool, but for me it was just another day at work.
Yeah, mi siwezi lala wiki tatu bwana. No eat. Now that time I could fast. Your time now.
Oh my god! For me it was just another day. It was just another day at work. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was cool. But it was just another day at work. Yeah.
Nice.
By you get that one, you go looking for more auditions. Yeah.
Nice. I'm so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Looking back, like since ever I knew you, and now getting to engage to you one-on-one, you've been that one person who's so consistent and always telling me never stop. There is kuna nini yako nilikuwa napenda kwa WhatsApp nasema don't conform. How does that?
Oh yeah, it's been my status forever.
For a very long time.
Do not conform.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
But that thing usually every time I used to look at it, it's so powerful. By
know your worth. Do not settle.
Do not conform.
Do not conform.
Nice. That one. Yes, it's something so powerful. Na imesaidia wengi pia kusukuma kujua mtu that there is so much that you can do and there is so much that you can achieve.
You don't know how much you inspire me. Like I remember we had this conversation and then here you are with your whole entire YouTube channel. Like really.
Funny thing.
And the interns that you went, the internships that you followed up on. Oh my god.
I know that time we were talking. You remember when you were at Kokito, I told you I really wanted to meet Jalango and Makideu so bad.
Yeah.
Then you told me, just go.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
You can't believe that. Was it the following week? I had to, I don't know how it happened. I think it should turn around September, November, was it December? January.
Yes.
Trust you me.
Yes.
I met with him. Like that spirit uniambia usingoje eti sasa eti mtu akuintroduce kwake. Just go.
Let's go.
Understand?
You have all it.
That's one thing I really appreciate. Let's talk of you doing voiceovers for like 1 year. Bila kupata do kabisa, without it making sense kwamba this is something that I can depend on and inaweza niletea chakula kwenye meza. How did that experience make you feel that you're giving your best? You know you're good at this, but then what you're giving does not reflect what you're getting back. And do you think voiceovers is something that one can fully depend on? Like now mimi kazi yangu ni kufanya voiceovers and I can live comfortably doing that.
You actually can, especially these people that have even home studios. Like you can record and edit and come up with concepts and you have your whole repertoire of clients. You can actually make a living. You can make a living out of voice acting. It's a thing. It's a thing. And then like we're having productions come into Kenya, like Super Summer, you know. That's something I'd also want to voice for. Oh my God, from God's mouth to my heart. Thank you. This day, see, from my mouth to God's ears.
From God's
faith
mouth?
is coming down now.
Oh, nice.
It is now what God says you do. Yes. Of course, it was challenging, but then again, my philosophy, as in, if there's one thing I know, time and place, season, it'll come to. And my mom always used to teach me about. It is actually very logical. Faith is very logical. Faith is not kujiambia ama kujidanganya. It is very, very practical, because when you put a seed in soil and you water it, it's tomorrow morning you're not going to wake up and find a shoot. That's a lie. I mean, let's just be practical. It's gonna take a couple of weeks. It's gonna take a couple of months. It's gonna take a while. Understand? So it's the same thing. It's a concept of sowing and harvesting. So I've done my sowing. I've called all of those people. I've taken all my demos. Oh my God! I've called everyone. You understand? So that's my sowing, and it is a matter of time before I harvest. So what you now need to work on is the patience part. So what are you doing when you're waiting? What are you doing in your waiting season? Are you complaining? Are you, oh my God, me, you're not seeing me. Oh my God, me, naona unafanyia wenzangu.
Kwani Mungu mimi nilikufanyia.
Kwani Mungu alikufanyia nini? Kwani what am I doing wrong? It's the waiting. It is the waiting that builds your character. It is in the waiting that builds your faith. It is in the waiting.
Like the patience of her to do this interview.
Yes. And then exactly. And you know, and then at the end of the day, even for me to come and give you my life story, for it is a testimony.
Yeah.
And who's getting the glory?
God.
Exactly. So he'll still come through for you, because at the end of the day, all the glory will just go back to him. Yes.
Let's talk about.
But yeah, I cried. I cried. So many times I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And my mom is like, Sherry, it's okay. Ngangana too. I tell you, have to imagine. Don't ignore the crying part. If you want to cry, cry. Be by yourself.
But then I cry. Like
Be by yourself. You cry, right?
A lot.
Exactly.
A lot.
Just cry. Let it all out, and then go back to the grind. Yeah.
But then Jerry na maanisha nini? Like
Ushera kila mahali hakuanga everywhere. Atulianga.
No maana tunakuona mara huko kwa PR huko kwa nini.
Okay.
That name fits. Nimeona sasa.
This is everywhere.
Yeah. I've hosted a few people in the media industry. People ambao wameketi mahali ambapo wameketi, and I've talked to them about digital space. And
these guys I watch on YouTube, Young Philly and Akina Sidemen, these people started creating content kitambo. So by the time us guys are discovering them and we're actually liking them, we are binge watching because they had already made so much content. You know? So keep creating content that is also very authentic to you. You have to stay true to yourself. Like I said, we are able to see through people. Tunaona una stress, tunaona una force. Achana na maneno. So stay true to you, and then always know that there are always people for you. There's always a niche for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Asante sana kwa kuja, but before we wind up, I want you to Alana fika naangalia camera, talk to the girl child and talk to everyone looking up to you. Anasema someday I would want to go through the path ambayo Georgina amepitia. They want to do something similar to what Georgina is doing. Talk to him, talk to her, give him or her a word of motivation ili azidi kujisukuma mbele.
Okay. First of all, you are right where you need to be. Okay, time is a concept. Fine. Do not be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. You're going to miss out on life when you're trying to make a life. You understand? Take your time, find something that you're passionate in, put in all your effort in it and your time, and you're going to reap the benefits. Please stay in your lane. As in, stay in your lane. I always say, the crossing line, the finish line is the same for everybody. And also the starting line is the same for everybody. Hapo katikati sasa ndio shida iko. Yeah? But si shida, because you are made to be a sprinter, somebody else is a marathoner. Those two people cannot compete, but they're still champions in their own right. Okay, so if you're able to do a 1500 meter race and you're exceptionally good at it, you stick to that lane. Whether you just stick to your lane. Sawa. Remember that God loves you in everything. I pray that you can always put him before, because that's something I've learned also the hard way. I've tried so many things by myself, my God, and I realized I've wasted so much time. So maybe keep conferring, maybe keep talking to him and let him, lead your path. Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do for yourselves this year. If you look up to me, yay, thanks. Oh my God, it's so depressing. And I'm grateful. Bigger, better things to come.